Don't touch her again. Her voice shakes, but her hand doesn't. The sound lands first. Sharp. Clean. Unmistakable. It slices through the air of a penthouse that has never known chaos. And, for a second, everything freezes. Nadine Khalil is still on the floor. Perfect hair, slightly undone now. Perfect makeup, slightly cracked. Her hand pressed against her cheek, eyes wide, not from pain, but from disbelief. Because this doesn't happen to women like her. Not in places like this. Not from someone like that. The maid, Amara Noy, stands over her. Gray uniform. White apron. Her chest rises and falls like she just outran something invisible. Her right hand still lifted slightly. Trembling. Not from weakness. From realization. Because she knows exactly what she just did. She crossed a line that doesn't have a way back. And she felt it the moment her palm made contact. But she doesn't step back. She doesn't apologize. She doesn't look at Nadine. She stands still. Like if she moves, everything will fall apart. Behind her, a wheelchair. Polished. Silent. Occupied. Layla Al-Hassan sits there. 71. Small frame. Fragile body. But her presence fills the room. Her glasses are gone. Somewhere on the marble floor, her cheek is red. A fresh handprint. Clear. Undeniable. The kind that tells a story before words ever do. Her lips part slightly. Not crying. Not begging. Just watching. Watching Amara. Watching what just happened. Watching something she hasn't seen in years. Someone choosing her. Then, the door opens. No knock. No warning. Just presence. Omar Al-Hassan steps in. Tall. Controlled. Expensive. The kind of man who walks into rooms expecting them to make sense. But this one doesn't. His eyes move fast. Taking everything in. His fiancée on the floor. His maid standing over her. His mother in a wheelchair. With a handprint on her face. 3 people. 1 moment. 3 completely different truths. And he has seconds. Just seconds. To decide which one he believes. No one speaks. Because everyone understands something without saying it. The first voice wins. Nadine inhales sharply. The tears arrive instantly. Perfectly timed. Perfectly placed. She just. Her voice breaks beautifully. Like it was rehearsed. Like it always is. Amara doesn't move. Doesn't interrupt. Doesn't defend herself. She just stands there. Between them. Between the woman on the floor. And the woman in the wheelchair. A line. Clear. Deliberate. Unbreakable. Her voice, when it comes, is low. Shaking. But solid. Don't touch her again. 5 words. That's all. 5 words that shift the air in the room. Because this wasn't just defiance. This was exposure. This was something that had been building. Quietly. Carefully. For months. And now it's here. In the open. Unavoidable. Omar looks at her. Really looks this time. Not at a maid. At a problem. At a disruption. At something that doesn't fit the order of his world. But something about this doesn't feel simple. Doesn't feel random. Doesn't feel like a mistake. Because Amara isn't panicking. She isn't begging. She isn't trying to save herself. She's standing there like someone who already decided what mattered more. And that's what unsettles him. Because scandals are easy. Truth is not. And right now, he thinks he just walked into a scandal. He has no idea. He just walked into the beginning of the truth. For months earlier. No tension. No shattered silence. No one on the floor. Just a door. And a woman standing in front of it, holding everything she owns in one hand. Amara Noy adjusts her sleeve. Gray blouse. Carefully pressed. Ironed on the floor of a small shared room because there was no board, no space, no time. She smooths it again. Not because it needs fixing. Because she does. One suitcase rests beside her. Everything she brought with her to Dubai. Everything she left behind, carried somewhere deeper. 27. Far from home. Standing at the service entrance of a penthouse that touches the sky. The door opens. Fatima. The housekeeper. Efficient eyes. No warmth. A quick glance. A silent judgment already made. Come. No greeting. No welcome. Just movement. Amara steps inside. And the world shifts. Marble floors stretch endlessly. Walls that reflect light like mirrors. A chandelier hangs above like it belongs in a museum. The air itself feels expensive. Too clean. Too quiet. The elevator ride is smooth. Almost unreal. 43 floors up. When the doors open, Amara hesitates. Just for a second. Because this place doesn't feel like somewhere people live. It feels like somewhere people perform. Don't stare, Fatima says, already walking. Amara follows. Because that's what she's here to do. Work. Endure. Send money home. But that's not the real reason. The real reason isn't written on any contract. It lives in a voice. Soft. Firm. Unforgettable. You have strong hands. Mama Ifioma. Always that sentence. You have strong hands. Use them to hold people up. Not to fight. Not to take. To hold. Amara learned that before she learned anything else. Before school. Before loss. Before leaving home. A small room. A wheelchair. A woman who couldn't walk. And a little girl who learned how to lift without hurting. How to care without being asked. How to stay when staying was heavy. That's why she's here. Not for luxury. Not for escape. For purpose. They stop at a door. Fatima speaks without turning. Madam Layla. 71. Wheelchair. Be careful. A pause. She notices everything. Amara nods slightly. Of course she does. Women like that always do. The door opens. Light fills the room. Books line the walls. Floor to ceiling. And in the center. A wheelchair. Occupied. Still. Watching. Layla Al-Hassan. Small frame. Sharp eyes behind slightly crooked glasses. A face that used to command rooms. Now forced into silence. Amara steps inside. Not loudly. Not timidly. Just present. Because something in her posture. Something in her stillness. Says one thing clearly. She didn't come here to disappear. She came here. To hold someone up. It doesn't begin with cruelty. It begins with perfection. Every day. 11:30 a.m. Exactly. No delay. No variation. Nadine Khalil arrives like a routine the house has memorized. Heels soft against marble. Perfume that lingers just long enough. A smile placed carefully on her face. Not too much. Not too little. Just right. Every time. Madam Layla, she says warmly, stepping into the room with flowers in hand. Her voice is gentle. Measured. Polished. The kind of warmth that looks perfect from a distance. She leans in slightly. Careful. Controlled. Never fully present. Amara watches. At first, nothing is wrong. No harsh words. No raised hands. No obvious tension. Just precision. Every movement rehearsed. Every expression timed. Every gesture placed exactly where it should land. And that's the problem. Because real kindness? It stumbles. It forgets itself. It laughs too loudly. It arrives late. This doesn't. This is flawless. And flawless is dangerous. Amara doesn't say anything. She just observes. Because she knows something about people who never slip. Her grandmother used to say, when someone is too careful with their kindness, they are hiding the opposite. Day 9. The shift happens. Quietly. Like everything else in this house. Amara walks down the corridor carrying a tray. Tea. Biscuits. Balanced perfectly. The door ahead is slightly open. Just enough. She slows. Not intentionally. Her body just knows. Then she hears it. Nadine's voice. Lower now. Different. Stripped of performance. You know he'll send you away eventually. Silence. When the wedding is over, a facility. Comfortable. Clean. A pause. You'll have your books, but not this view. Amara stops walking. The tray feels heavier. Inside. A softer voice. Layla. Please. Then Nadine again. Calm. Certain. Then don't make this difficult. Another pause. When the doctor comes, you'll tell him you've been forgetting things. Silence stretches. Tight. Uncomfortable. Do you understand? A whisper. Yes. Amara's fingers tighten around the tray, her grip turning pale. Because something just broke. Not loudly. Not visibly. But completely. The room is no longer safe. The kindness is no longer real. It's strategy. She stands there for one more second. Listening. Letting it settle. Then, she moves. Pushes the door open. Steps inside. Smile in place. Like nothing happened. Like she heard nothing. Nadine turns instantly. The warmth returns. Perfect again. Ah, Amara. Thank you. Amara nods. Places the tray down gently. Everything normal. Everything unchanged. Except it isn't. Because now she sees it. The mask. The performance. The threat hidden inside softness. And once you see something like that, you can't unsee it. So she doesn't react. Doesn't confront. Doesn't expose. She watches. Closer now. Sharper. Because whatever this is, it's not a moment. It's a pattern. And patterns don't stop on their own. Day 12. It's small. So small most people would miss it. That's how it survives. Amara is helping Layla change. Routine. Lift. Turn. Adjust. Movements she doesn't have to think about anymore. Her hands know what to do before her mind does. Then, she sees it. High on the arm. Inside. Where no one looks. A bruise. Deep. Purple. Not round. Not random. 3 clear marks. Like fingers pressed too hard. Amara pauses. Just slightly. Her hand hovering in the air. Her eyes narrowing. Does it hurt? Layla doesn't look at her. I bumped into the chair. The answer comes too quickly. Too clean. Amara says nothing. But she doesn't look away. Because she knows. She's seen this before. Different room. Different woman. Same silence. Wheelchairs don't leave fingerprints, Amara says quietly. The room stills. Layla's fingers tighten on the blanket. Then, it's nothing. The door closes. Not physically. Emotionally. The conversation ends where truth is denied. Amara doesn't push. Not yet. But something settles inside her. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Certain. Day 14. She walks into the room after laundry. And immediately, something feels wrong. Too quiet. Too empty. She steps inside. Stops. The wheelchair is facing the wall. Not the window. Not the light. Just blank white space. 6 inches away. Layla sits there. Eyes open. Still. How long have you been like this? No answer. What time is it? 4. When did this start? A pause. 11. 5 hours. 5 hours of silence. 5 hours facing nothing. Because she cannot turn herself. Because someone made sure of it. Amara's joy tightens. Her hands grip the handles. Slowly, she turns the chair. Back toward the window. Light pours in. Bright. Alive. Layla blinks. Once. Twice. Like someone stepping out of darkness. She said I needed rest, Layla whispers. Did the light hurt your eyes? A quiet answer. No. Amara nods slightly. Adjusts the blanket. Smooths it down. Reaches for the book beside her. Places it in Layla's lap. Opens it. Steps back. She doesn't say what she's thinking. She doesn't need to. Because now, there's no doubt. Day 17. She finds the glasses. Not lost. Not broken. Hidden. Inside a drawer. Carefully placed. Deliberately removed. Amara holds them for a moment. Just looking. Then cleans them with her apron. Slow. Careful. Familiar. She kneels. Places them gently back on Layla's face. The world returns. Focus. Clarity. Identity. Thank you, Layla whispers. Her voice shaking. Not from weakness. From relief. That night, Amara lies awake. Staring at the ceiling. Not crying for herself. But for the woman down the hall. The one who has been made smaller. Quietly. Patiently. Methodically. And for the first time, Amara isn't just observing anymore. She's counting. Waiting. because something is building inside her. And when it finally breaks, it won't be quiet. Day 20. 4 p.m. The house is quiet. Too quiet. Amara is in the corridor when she hears it. A sound. Sharp. Cut short. Like pain that wasn't allowed to finish. She doesn't think. She moves. Fast. The door opens before her mind catches up. And then, she sees it. Nadine. Standing tall. Balanced. Controlled. One heel pressed down. Not on the floor. On fingers. Layla's hand is trapped beneath it. Twisted slightly. Red already. Swelling fast. The kind of pain that doesn't scream. Because it has learned not to. Amara freezes. Just for a fraction of a second. Because the image doesn't belong here. Not in this house. Not in this world of polished floors and quiet voices. Then Nadine looks up. And just like that, it disappears. The mask slides back into place. "Oh, Amara," she says lightly, lifting her foot as if nothing happened. "I was just adjusting her blanket." Silence. Heavy. Wrong. Amara steps forward slowly. Her eyes drop to Layla's hand. Then lift to Nadine. Then back again. No words. Because words would break too early. That night. Ice. Careful wrapping. Gentle fingers. Layla winces once. Then hides it. "Why don't you tell him?" Amara asks quietly. A pause. Long. "She'll send me away." Amara looks up. "She's been telling him I'm confused," Layla continues. "That I'm forgetting things. She brought a doctor. She's building something." "To what?" "To have me declared incompetent." The word settles in the room. Heavy. Final. Once that happens, Layla exhales slowly. Everything transfers. "And her control becomes complete," Amara says. A small nod. "She doesn't need me gone," Layla whispers. "She needs me erased." Silence. Amara leans back slightly. Thinking. Processing. Then. "She's not smarter than you." Layla doesn't respond. "She's just meaner." That lands. Not loudly. But clearly. Because now. It has a name. This isn't care. This isn't misunderstanding. This is design. Day 25. Amara decides. No more waiting. She walks into Omar's office. Glass walls. City below. A desk larger than her room. He looks up. She tells him everything. No hesitation. No fear. The threats. The bruises. The hidden glasses. The heel. All of it. He listens. Still. Unreadable. Then. He calls Nadine. She arrives quickly. Too quickly. Already crying. Already shaking. "I love your mother," she says. "Why would I hurt her?" Her voice cracks perfectly. Tears fall on cue. She shows photos. Smiles. Moments. Carefully curated. Evidence. Or performance. Omar turns. "Mother, is this true?" Silence. All eyes shift to Layla. Her gaze moves slowly. Not to her son. To Nadine. Standing behind him. Smiling. But her eyes. Cold. Warning. The message is clear. Say nothing. Or lose everything. Layla swallows. Then. "No," she says softly. "She's been kind." The room drops. Amara feels it. That moment. When truth is buried alive. Omar nods once. "My mother has spoken." He turns to Amara. "If you continue making accusations, I'll reconsider your position." He walks out. Nadine lingers. Just for a second. Long enough. The tears vanish. Instantly. What remains is something colder. Something certain. Amara stands still. Not shocked. Not surprised. Just finished waiting. Because now she understands something clearly. No one is coming. No one will fix this. Which means, when the moment comes, she will. The moment doesn't warn you. It doesn't build. It just arrives. Month 4. Thursday. 4:07 p.m. Amara is in the corridor again. That same space. Between silence and action. Then. A sound. Sharp. Clear. Not hidden this time. Not controlled. A slap. Loud enough to echo. She moves instantly. No pause. No thinking. The door swings open. And everything locks into place. Frame 1. Nadine. Standing over the wheelchair. Hand still raised. Face empty. Not angry. Not emotional. Just finished. Like she completed something routine. Frame 2. Layla. Head turned from the impact. Cheek burning red. Fresh. Clear. Her glasses. Gone. Again. But her eyes? Open. Wide. Not broken. Not this time. Frame 3. The glasses. On the marble floor. Lens cracked clean through. The one thing she needs to see. To read. To be herself. Broken. Amara sees it all. In 1 second. The mark. The fall. The silence. And something inside her. Breaks. Not slowly. Not gently. Completely. Not anger. Not fear. Something older. Deeper. A reflex built over years. A reflex that doesn't ask permission. A reflex that knows. When someone cannot defend themselves, you step in. 3 steps. That's all it takes. 1, 2, 3. Her hand rises. Not a fist. Open. Flat. The way correction lands. The way final decisions are made. Contact. Sharp. Clean. Undeniable. Nadine's head snaps sideways. Her body follows. She stumbles. Falls. Hits the marble. Hard. Silence. Complete. The kind that feels like time paused. Nadine is on the floor now. Hand pressed to her cheek. Shock flooding her face. Because this was not in her plan. Amara stands there. Still. Her palm burning. Her body trembling. Not fearless. Not calm. Just done. Because she knows what this means. Her job. Gone. Her visa. Gone. Everything. Gone. And she doesn't move. She steps forward instead. 1 step. Positioning herself. Between Layla and Nadine. A line. Clear. Unbreakable. Her voice comes out low. Shaking. But solid. Don't touch her again. Behind her. Silence. Then. Something new. Layla is looking at her. Not as help. Not as staff. But as something else. Something she hasn't seen in years. Someone who chose her. Someone who stood. Someone who fought. For her. 30 seconds pass. No one moves. Then. Nadine shifts. Slowly. Calculating. The tears arrive. Perfect again. Right on time. The door opens. Omar steps in. And the moment fractures. Into versions. Into stories. Into truth and performance. He looks. Once. Everything. His fiancée on the floor. His maid standing. His mother in the chair. Marked. Silent. 3 people. 1 moment. And now, the most dangerous question begins. Who will he believe? Nadine speaks first. She always does. The tears fall instantly. Controlled. Precise. She hit me for no reason. Her voice trembles in all the right places. I was just helping your mother. She presses her hand to her cheek. Fragile. Wounded. Perfect. Amara says nothing. Doesn't rush. Doesn't interrupt. She just stands there. Between them. Still. Unmoving. Because this moment is not hers to control. Mother, what happened? Omar's voice is calm. But something underneath it has shifted. A hesitation. A crack. All eyes turn. To Layla. She doesn't answer immediately. Her gaze moves slowly. Not to her son. To Nadine. Standing behind him. Crying. But her eyes. Cold. Sharp. Threatening. The same silent message. Say nothing. Or lose everything. For a moment. It almost works. Layla's lips part. Then close. Her fingers tighten slightly on the armrest. The room holds its breath. Because this is where it always ends. This is where silence wins. This is where truth disappears. Again. But something is different. Today. Someone crossed a room for her. Someone risked everything for her. Someone chose her. Without hesitation. And that changes something. Not outside. Inside. Layla's gaze shifts. Away from Nadine. Back to Omar. Steady now. Clear. She slapped me. 2 words. Soft. But they hit like something breaking open. Omar doesn't react. Not yet. Because he's waiting. And this time. She continues. Today and before today. Her voice grows stronger. With every word. The professor returning. Layer by layer. She pinches my arms. A pause. She stands on my fingers. Another. She hides my glasses. The air tightens. She turns my chair to face the wall. For hours. Nadine's breathing changes. Barely noticeable. But faster. She tells me she will send me away. Now Omar is looking at Nadine. Really looking. She brought a doctor. Told him I was confused. That I was declining. Silence. Heavy. She is building a case to have me declared incompetent. The word settles. Dangerous. Final. Because when that happens, a breath. Everything transfers. No one moves. No one speaks. Because this is no longer emotion. This is structure. This is pattern. This is truth with detail. Omar's eyes stay on Nadine. And for the first time, she slips. Just slightly. The timing breaks. The tears don't land the same. The mask cracks. She's confused. Nadine starts. My mother just described a pattern. Omar cuts in. Calm. Controlled. But no longer blind. That is not confusion. Silence. Then. One sentence. Cold. Final. Leave. Nadine freezes. You're choosing her over me? Omar doesn't hesitate. I'm choosing my mother. A beat. I should have done that a long time ago. Everything shifts. Quietly. Completely. Nadine stands still for a second longer. Then turns. Walks out. Heels striking marble. Sharp. Fading. The door closes. And just like that, the truth is no longer hidden. But this is only the beginning. Because truth alone doesn't end a war. 6:14 p.m. The call is made. Not to explain. Not to apologize. To control the story before it escapes. My fiancé's maid assaulted me. Nadine's voice is calm. Measured. Carefully shaken. The kind of voice that sounds believable without trying. And technically, it's true. That's all it takes. By the time the sun disappears behind the Dubai skyline, the story is already moving. Fast. Faster than truth ever does. Police arrive. Quiet. Professional. Uninterested in emotion. Only facts. Short questions. Direct. Did you hit her? Amara doesn't hesitate. Yes. Pens move. Boxes checked. That's enough. No one asks why. No one asks what led to it. Because context slows things down. And systems don't wait for context. By 9:30 p.m., it's online. A headline spreads. Clean. Sharp. Dangerous. African maid attacks billionaire's fiancé in Dubai penthouse. It travels. Fast. Shared. Commented. Judged. People pick sides instantly. She should be deported. Know your place. These workers are dangerous. The noise grows louder. Because outrage is simple. Truth is not. And Nadine understands that. She always has. Amara sits on her bed. Small room. End of the corridor. Phone in her hand. The screen lights her face. She scrolls. Reads. Doesn't react. Not once. Because none of this is new to her. Judgment without knowing. Voices louder than facts. Her grandmother lived through worse. People whispering. Calling her a burden. A punishment. Amara learned something early. Noise doesn't define truth. It just tries to bury it. A knock on the door. She looks up. Omar stands there. No distance now. No formality. Just a man who saw something he can't ignore. I've hired a lawyer, he says. Amara tilts her head slightly. Why? A pause. Longer than expected. Because you did what I should have done. Silence. I hit your fiancé. You stopped someone hurting my mother. He nods once. But his next words are quieter. The law won't see it that way. Amara leans back slightly, thinking. Then we show them. Omar studies her. Carefully. How? A shift. Subtle. But final. I installed cameras, he says. After the renovation. Every room. Amara's eyes hold his. They back up to a private server. A beat. She didn't know. Silence. Different now. Heavy with possibility. Omar steps closer. I'm watching everything tonight. His voice drops. Lower. More controlled. More dangerous. Every moment. Amara doesn't respond immediately. Because this is the turning point. Not loud. Not dramatic. But irreversible. Because once truth is seen, it cannot be reshaped. It cannot be hidden. It cannot be denied. Omar turns. Walks away. The corridor swallows him again. Amara sits still. Phone dimming in her hand. Outside. The world has already judged her. Inside. Something else is about to begin. Something slower. Stronger. Unstoppable. Because tonight, the truth won't be told. It will be watched. The footage doesn't argue. It doesn't defend. It doesn't explain. It just shows. Omar sits alone in his office. Lights off. City glowing beyond the glass. The screen is the only light. Hour 1. Nothing unusual. Routine. Movement. Normal. Then, he sees it. Nadine. Opening a drawer. Slow. Deliberate. Placing something inside. Closing it. Walking away. No hesitation. No glance back. Minutes later. Layla. Sitting. Blinking. Straining. Her eyes searching for something that isn't there. Her glasses. Gone. Omar leans forward slightly. His jaw tightens. Hour 2. The wheelchair. Nadine behind it. Hand steady. Turning it. Not toward the window. Toward the wall. Layla's hands grip the armrests. She tries to turn back. Fails. Stops. Sits there. Facing nothing. While the skyline glows behind her. Untouched. Unseen. Omar exhales slowly. Controlled. But heavier now. Hour 3. The fingers. He almost looks away. Almost. But he doesn't. He watches. Nadine's heel pressing down. Layla's body reacting. Then forcing stillness. The pain doesn't disappear. It's contained. Hidden. Practiced. Something shifts in Omar. Not anger. Not yet. Something deeper. Understanding. Hour 4. The whispers. Clear. Undeniable. You'll be sent away. He'll believe me. You'll be alone. Every word lands. Every word connects. Omar's eyes don't move. Because now, he's not watching moments. He's watching a pattern. Hour 5. Amara. Braiding Layla's hair. Slow. Gentle. Precise. The same rhythm. The same care. Layla's face. Changing. Softening. Coming back to life. Not a patient. Not a burden. A person. Hour 6. The glasses. Returned. Cleaned. Placed carefully. Like something important. Like someone important. Then, the final clip. Today, the slap. Sharp. Loud. Layla's head turning. The glasses falling. Breaking. And then, Amara. Moving. Immediate. Unfiltered. 3 steps. 1 motion. Impact. Don't touch her again. Omar watches it once. Twice. 3 times. On the 3rd, he notices something else. After the hit. After Nadine falls. Amara's hand is shaking. Her body trembling. Not fearless. Not calm. Just unwilling to move away. She stays. Between them. Doesn't step back. Doesn't leave. Omar leans back slowly. The screen fades to black. But the images stay. Burned in. Rewriting everything. He reaches for the documents. The trust. Ownership. Transfers. Details he never questioned. Then, another file. 3 years ago. A request. Paused. Withdrawn. Connected. His eyes narrow. Another report. The accident. A small detail. Easy to miss. A cancelled inspection. A phone call. A name attached. The same name. Nadine's firm. Omar goes still. Completely. Because now, this isn't just cruelty. This isn't just control. This is planning. Careful. Patient. Calculated. He closes the file slowly. Because everything he believed is gone. And what's left is something far worse. The truth didn't just clear Amara. It exposed something deeper. Something older. Something that was never meant to be seen. And now, it is. Fully. Irreversibly. Seen. The room is full before the truth arrives. Cameras. Reporters. Voices layered over voices. Everyone thinks they know the story already. A scandal. A maid. A violent outburst. Simple. Clean. Wrong. Omar stands at the podium. Still. Controlled. But something about him is different now. Not colder. Clearer. 3 days ago, he begins, my domestic worker struck my fiancé. Pens move. Cameras adjust. They're ready. Because this is what they came for. Confirmation. But then, the media reported it as unprovoked. A pause. Long enough to shift attention. That is not true. The room quiets. Not completely. But enough. Omar gestures slightly. Behind him. Screens flicker on. The footage begins. No music. No narration. Just truth. Nadine. Opening drawers. Hiding glasses. Layla sitting. Blind. Confused. The room stills. The murmurs fade. Next clip. The wheelchair. Turned. Facing the wall. Hours passing. The skyline glowing behind her. Ignored. Denied. A reporter exhales sharply. Another lowers their pen. Then, the fingers. The heel. The pressure. The silence that follows. No one speaks now. Because there's nothing left to interpret. Then, the whispers. Subtitled. Clear. You'll be sent away. He'll believe me. You'll be alone. The room feels different. Heavier. Like something is pressing down on it. And then, Amara. Braiding hair. Cooking. Helping. Restoring. Not loud. Not dramatic. But undeniable. Two realities. Side by side. One destroying. One rebuilding. And finally, the moment. The slap. The glasses falling. Breaking. And Amara stepping forward. Don't touch her again. The footage ends. Silence. Real silence. The kind that doesn't rush to fill itself. Omar steps forward again. There's more. A ripple moves through the room. Not noise. Tension. Documents appear on the screen. Legal filings. Dates. Names. Connections. A transfer request, Omar continues. Filed 3 years ago. 2 weeks before my stepfather's accident. Reporters lean in. Now they're listening. Really listening. The same firm connected to that filing placed a call. A pause. Canceling a brake inspection. The room breaks. Not loudly, but visibly. Shock. Confusion. Realization. Omar's voice stays steady. The accident that killed my stepfather is now under investigation. No one writes now. No one moves. Because the same person who abused my mother. He stops. Just for a second. Then finishes. May have planned much more. The room holds that. Heavy. Dangerous. Unavoidable. Then, movement. A wheelchair rolls forward. Slow. Steady. Layla. Braids neat. Glasses on. Back straight. Not hidden. Not silent. Seen. She stops at the center. Looks out at the room. At the cameras. At the world. My name is Layla Al-Hassan, she says. Her voice is clear. Strong. Undeniable. I am not confused. A pause. I am not declining. Another. I was being erased. The room doesn't breathe. Until someone refused to let that happen. Her eyes shift. To Amara. Standing at the side. Still in her uniform. Still quiet. Still everything. Amara Noy stood up for me, Layla continues. A small breath. And I wish I had stood up for myself sooner. Silence. Then, everything changes. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button. Subscribe so you never miss a story and drop a comment telling us where in the world you're listening.